In this video, we are going to take a look at Photoshop's crop tools so that you can crop your image or clip your image down to the resolution that you want or the part of the image that you would like to use. So if you look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th tool down on the tools bar, you will see we have the crop tool, which is the letter C, and we have the crop tool and the perspective crop tool. So we'll start with the crop tool. And the crop tool is going to allow us to designate an area and automatically trim that area down. So as soon as I hit that button, if you can see it, there are marching ants around the whole document, and we have these little handles that we can adjust. We can also change some settings at the top, such as changing the actual ratio that we want. So if we want to crop to a 16:9 aspect ratio, it will do that automatically for us. Or we can type in the exact dimensions or ratios that we would like to use. So I'm going to just go ahead and go back to original ratio. We can clear out any changes that we make here. There is also a button to straighten the image by drawing a line on it. And so what will happen is it'll try to, when it crops, it'll try to also straighten this image out for us by drawing that line. So we can crop the image down to the smallest amount that we can and then also straighten it. And I'm going to go ahead and hit the exit button over here. There's a plus and a stop sign that you can cancel out. So we'll hit that button so that doesn't happen. But that is the straighten tool right here. So it's a way to crop and straighten. You just click on it and then you draw your line across the axis that everything's moving in, and then it'll straighten it out for you. We have some other things that we can do. We can have different types of the gridding system. So we can use the rule of thirds. We can use a grid, diagonal, triangle, golden ratio. It's a bunch of different ways for you to crop this image. For instance, if we pick diagonal, as I begin dragging, you can see those diagonal markers picking up here, and we can use that as a way to crop out our image or see how we want to use our image. So let's take a look at another one. If we use a golden ratio, you can see that those are applied here. Golden spiral. So we can crop the image down in a way that fits these different kinds of graphic design theory techniques, such as the golden spiral. So maybe if I crop this down like this, I can kind of get it to follow that rhythm of that golden spiral there. So you can do different things like that with this crop tool. We have some more settings that you can look through or check the documentation on. And then we have delete cropped pixels. So what do we want to do with the cropped pixels when we're done with them? Typically you just want to delete them out and resize the canvas. And then we have content aware. Content aware works like the other tools, and what it's going to do is it's going to fill in areas for us that get cropped out with the image around it. So in this instance, it would try to match this background with these clouds as we begin cropping. But let's just do a basic crop here. We'll do the rule of thirds. We won't straighten it out or anything like that. We'll keep it real basic. And whenever we grab one of these markers or these handles and we start moving them, you will see the part of the image that is going to get cropped down. And what's going to happen is it's going to clip out these unselected areas, and it will resize the document to the area that we've designated. So let's say that we just wanted this sign here. Now when I hit enter, it will crop this and change the canvas size to this size of the image. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the enter button. It saves that. We've cropped that image down. And now if you look over on the right hand side, the pixel dimensions have changed to 1338 by 926. If I undo the crop, you can see the original pixel dimensions were 1920 by 1280. We basically drew a crop rectangle around the image. We crop it down, and you can see how that's affected. And also you can see it in the layer changing here too, how that crop happens. So that's a basic crop. It's really useful for getting out the piece of the image that you would like. Let's take a look at the other crop tool, and it's the perspective crop tool. Now this is a very interesting tool in the fact that what it does is it's going to let you pick something in perspective and then try to flatten it out when it crops it. And it's best if I just kind of show you this. Now you have options at the top to change the width and height and the resolution and these other options here. But basically what I want to do is I just want to click a point on something that we want to crop and straighten. Say I want to use this underground logo here, but it's at an angle and it has a weird perspective. And if I try to, for instance, let's just say I were to go ahead and crop this out. So we'll crop it, and then now we gotta maybe, well, first we'll need to select it all. We're going to have to rotate this and try to get it straight. And then that doesn't really look good, so maybe we have to do a little bit of perspective to see if we can change that. Let's see. Let's move. So you'd have to move these around and try to change out the perspective to get it to line up right and get it to flip. And that's going to be really hard. And you're going to have to make a lot of edits to really try to get this flattened out. And we can do it much easier by using the perspective crop tool. So we click on that. We can also use the shortcut key C. And we're just going to select the corners of this sign that we want to use here. And you're going to have 4 corners. It's going to be a rectangle. Okay, once you have it selected, you'll see everything else goes dark, and then we can adjust the points wherever we need them. So if we didn't get it perfect, you know, this isn't always going to be perfect because I'm going quickly, but you can zoom in and you can adjust these points. You can scale them bigger or smaller and mess around with them that way. Once you have this set and ready to go, when you hit the enter key, you can see that it automatically adjusts for the perspective and fix the image for us automatically. So it's cropped out that sign and it's flattened it out. This looks almost perfectly. And I can see that we caught some edges there that maybe we don't want. Now we can use a regular crop tool, and then we can come in even further and just grab the piece that we want, such as maybe this logo right in the center and not have all that extra space around it, and then hit enter with the regular crop tool. And now we have that logo that we can use that was a really hard edit to make based on the way that it's facing in this sign. So those are the crop tools. They allow you to just crop out a piece of an image that you want to use and change the canvas size to that resolution, and you'll probably find yourself using that tool a lot inside of Photoshop.